Rainfall in South Carolina turned roads into rivers and floods many homes.
It was very scary to hear that, Mom, we're going to have to go out the window. We can't get the door open.
The new system's designed to save lives following deadly flooding in Texas.
We'll upgrade this system and add new flood warning measures.
This year could produce a record corn harvest in Iowa, so why are farmers so nervous?
It's going to be good corn, but it's not going to be great.
And we'll tackle another bit of weather folklore, looking at the connection between August fog and winter snow.
From our nation's capital, this is the National Weather Desk.
Good morning and welcome to the National Weather Desk. I'm Angela Brown. A heat wave that's been broiling the Pacific Northwest will deliver more sizzling temperatures today. Extreme heat warnings and heat advisories are posted for Washington State into Northern California. More record highs are expected to fall later today. Many areas are under red flag warnings because it's hot and dry enough for a single lightning strike to start a fire. Just to the south of California's Napa County, the Picket Fire has destroyed more than 6,800 acres and is just 11% contained. Ryan Sims is in Seattle, where people are looking to beat the heat in a city that's just not used to it.
The dog days of summer giving a sizzle to the Emerald City.
I like being in Washington because it's like tolerable summers, but now it's, yeah.
As heat advisory sweeps through our region, the challenge is suddenly on. Stay cool, stay hydrated, try to stay happy.
We live on the 4th floor, so we're just getting kind of like beamed by the sun. So we had to install reflective coating on the window to try to help a little bit.
This late summer heat wave comes as so many more people succeed in staying cool. That's because according to census figures, 63% of people in Seattle now have air conditioning. As you see, that is up from 44% only a few years ago.
I hate the heat so much. Especially with my skin tone, I don't want to be outside all day.
Neither do visitors here, including those coming here from up north.
It's not going to be 90 degrees in Alaska, or so I hope. It makes me grateful that I'm leaving tomorrow.
Aside from the inconvenience, of course, scorching temperatures can have health impacts, with fire agencies telling KOMO there's the potential for more medical calls than usual because of the heat.
The summer look like for Western Washington, where summer temperatures typically don't get past the low 80s. There in Zahn looks at the latest temperature outlook.
We have set new record highs over the weekend in parts of Western Washington. The sizzling temps are only making our drought and fire danger worse. What can we expect next? The newest 8 to 14-day forecast from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Climate Prediction Center is calling for a 40 to 50% chance of above normal temperatures for much of Western Washington. That doesn't mean we won't see any rain. Government forecasters say much of our state can expect a 50 to 60% chance of above normal precipitation over the next couple weeks. The National Weather Service is also just out with their longer look ahead. The seasonal outlook for September, October, and November is calling for a 33 to 40% chance of above normal temperatures over the next 3 months. In the same time period, NOAA forecasters are expecting a 33 to 40% chance of above normal precipitation. That means you can probably not expect a big cool down as we head into fall, but that doesn't mean we won't see a decent amount of rain.
And tracking the tropics this morning, a new tropical storm formed off the Mexican coast in the Pacific this morning. Juliet has maximum sustained winds of 40 miles an hour. It's expected to stay out to sea and not threaten land over in the Atlantic. Hurricane Erin may be long gone, but now we have Tropical Storm Fernand, and a second area has the chance to form into a storm as well. South Carolina meteorologist Sonia Stevens has the details.
Let's start with that tropical wave over the Windward Islands. Some gusty winds possible for them, but conditions not favorable for further development. National Hurricane Center only giving it a 10% chance. Basically, we can write this tropical wave off. And then we have Tropical Storm Fernand, but it's not impacting land. It's moving off toward the north and east.
Well, a stalled cold front led to record rainfall in Charleston, South Carolina on Friday. More than 4 inches of rain fell, the most ever for August 22nd. All that water led to streets submerged, as you can see here, stranded drivers and widespread flash flooding. Several apartment buildings outside Charleston also flooded. Children escaped out of a window as the water rushed in. Cameron Limes has that story.
48 hours after flash flood waters destroyed multiple apartments.
I left Friday morning with a normal life. I came back to literally my life has been flipped upside down.
According to residents, at one point there was nearly a foot of standing water inside their homes. The ditch near the building flooding, forcing tenants out of their homes, some lucky to make it out.
My daughter called me back, FaceTimed me, and the water was up to her knees. It was very scary to hear that, Mom, we're gonna have to go out the window. We can't get the door open. I don't feel like it's fully hit me yet. The realization of, all of it has just not sunk in. It's so unreal.
And nearly a year after Helene, FEMA has approved $96 million for recovery projects across western North Carolina. They range from a number of things, from road repairs to debris removal. And the town of Old Fort, $1.4 million will help rebuild facilities damaged by the storm. But as Elijah Skipper tells us, the road to restoration can be lengthy and also difficult.
It's been interesting, it's been frustrating, it's been exciting. I mean, we've kind of been on that roller coaster ride.
For Old Fort, that ride hasn't just been paperwork. It's been months of waiting, wondering, and watching storm damage sit untouched.
FEMA has been good to us. Let me say that up front. They've done fantastic. They are very invested in the town of Old Fort and wanting to help. The problem is the procedures. It's a long procedure to go from A to Z.
On the ground, the red tape shows up as ruins still standing. Engineers have already told the town some of these buildings can't be saved.
We have had engineers look at that. FEMA has done site inspections on all of these buildings up there. And there, like I say, there's 2 or 3 that they have already told us will have to be torn down.
And even if they rise again, the inside is gone. The trucks, the tools, the heartbeat of a town's workday, what's left is just a shell.
We lost all of our equipment. We lost all of our materials in that maintenance shop.
Mayor Snipes says the key to recovery may be flexibility, money that fits the needs of today, not just the walls of yesterday.
We are hoping that in some of these cases we will be able to look at alternate projects. That would be more of a priority at this point. Don't have the answer yet on that. Hopefully we can find that out when we meet with them.
Well, Iowa is predicted to have a record-breaking corn harvest, but local farmers remain skeptical about the optimistic outlook. Lauren Avenatio visited a local farm to learn more.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is projecting Iowa's largest corn harvest on record. But farmers say that they won't be able to tell how good the crop is until it's out of the field.
It's a different story when you actually get out there and actually take a look and fold things back.
Despite these optimistic projections from the USDA, Tom Carmen of Carmen Farms says there are signs the crop may not live up to the hype.
With all the variability that we've had this year, it's kind of questionable. I think they're building up a pipe dream. I think it's going to be good corn, but it's not going to be great.
Experts like agronomist Megan Anderson from Iowa State University are also not convinced when it comes to other parts of the state.
Overall, we will not be harvesting a record yield crop in central Iowa specifically, and probably not in north central Iowa.
Carmen and Anderson say this season has been marked by challenges, from heavy rains and hail to high winds and plant disease.
One of the questions that I have in my mind is, at what point do we reach a tipping point where we have too much July rainfall? Because typically we are seeking more, and this year, there were a lot of farmers kind of asking for that rainfall to shut off.
Harvest begins in just a few weeks and ends in late October to early November. That's when we'll see whether the numbers match what's really in the field.
And for all the latest weather news and videos, be sure to follow us on social media. You can find us on all your favorite platforms. Just search the National Weather Desk. And coming up on the National Weather Desk, we'll head to Texas and learn about a new safety system that can predict road flooding before it happens. And we'll find out about the disease that's killing bats all across West Virginia.
I'm meteorologist Christian Bridges. Here's a look at your forecast for the Northeast. A overall pretty nice Monday in store for us with the chance for scattered showers and storms in some parts of the region. Highs will mostly be in the 70s and 80s, upper 70s in Boston, right around 80 from Albany southward through New York State, down towards New York City, where we'll be in the mid 80s for the afternoon. A few scattered showers and storms are possible across the region as a cold front moves through the area. Otherwise, it looks like a pretty nice day with plenty of sun.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Bailey. Here's a look at the Mid-Atlantic region. A front has passed through, and it is going to make for some gorgeous weather behind it. It's taking away any rain chances, so we're looking dry as we head into your Monday. We should see a lot of sunshine to come in. Not only that, we will also have some lower humidity, just some scattered clouds here and there. So Monday, temperatures in the 80s. As we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, still going to be warm, but not as warm. 60s in the mountains, and it will feel beautiful with a lower humidity.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
Before the deadly July 4th flooding in Texas, 13 people lost their lives in San Antonio. They were swept away by fast-moving water over the road. As reporter Jay Avila shows us, the local county is about to spend $21 million on a system to predict roadway flooding before it happens.
Bexar County already has a number of low water crossings with gates and lights that are activated when water is detected on the roadway to warn drivers not to try and cross, especially when it's dark and hard to see how deep the water is. The new money in the budget will upgrade this system and add new flood warning measures.
Back in June, 13 people died when floodwaters engulfed the 410 Perrin-Beitel Access Road in northeast San Antonio. It is one of many roadways throughout the city and Bexar County being considered for automatic crossing arms and new solar-powered street lighting.
I would say that's a good place to start. At least, if we can prevent it from ever happening again, that'd be good.
The money will also pay for the San Antonio River Authority to do predictive modeling upstream, so gates will automatically lower earlier.
That way we can close it before there's ever a danger of a motorist being swept away.
Bexar County Manager David Smith says that will involve adding rainfall and water level sensors to give more advanced warning.
Our existing rainfall sensors are slow to relay information, 30-minute, 40-minute delay. That's not good enough for the model we're proposing, so we'll need to upgrade those.
Data from sensors at low water crossings and stream and rain gauges could be accessed quickly by the city, Bexar County, and the River Authority. The information could then be transmitted to the bearflood.org website, Waze, and Google Maps so the public could see the latest warnings. The county wants people to go to bearflood.org and sign up for alerts that can already be sent to your cell phone. Each dot is a low water crossing. You can select the ones you travel through often, and you'll get a text when it floods.
Bexar County hopes to reduce the number of deaths and high water rescues by activating these warning systems before, not after, a roadway has flooded.
Meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael answers viewer questions on Facebook. It's a segment that he calls Weather Bucket. Let's head to Columbus, Ohio, and take a look at what questions he's answering this week.
All right, what is up, everyone? Andrew Buck-Michael back with another round of your Weather Bucket questions. By the way, go to my Facebook page, look for this post, and you can ask your weather questions as well. All right, first one coming in here from Matt saying, do prolonged wet summers have an effect on our fall foliage? It's a great question. I asked our gardening expert, Jeff Turnbull, out at Darby Creek Nursery, and he said because it's been so wet for the start of the summer, the leaves have got a lot of content in them, a lot of sugar, a lot of moisture. So this year, as long as we get the cool nights and mild afternoons, we will start to see those fall colors really pop pretty well this year, since we're not dealing with a drought like last year across Ohio. All right, another question coming in saying, Marjorie saying, why do we not get as much snow as we used to? I don't know how old you are, Marjorie, but chances are you're probably talking about this big snows that we used to have back in the 70s, the blizzard of 78. Well, one reason is because we have been warming. You can debate it all you want, but we have been getting a lot less snow compared to then. We've had a few exceptions in several years, but generally it has been warmer, and you need cold air for there to be snow, at least to get a lot of it. Final question coming in from Donna saying, why is there a hurricane season? Why don't they happen year round? Is it a temperature thing? It is a temperature thing. August, September, October are the peak of hurricane season because that's when the ocean waters are their warmest in the Atlantic. You need two things for hurricanes: really warm ocean water and really light winds as you go up through the atmosphere, because if there's strong winds, it'll shear off the top of these storms. Hopefully these answered your guys' questions. By the way, share more of your questions and we'll answer them next time.
And another question we get asked is about some common weather folklore. Some believe that the number of foggy days in August will closely match the number of snowy days in winter. Meteorologist Dave Dirks look at what this means for southern Appalachia, if it's true.
Waking up to fog in late summer isn't uncommon. As nights get longer and the humidity remains high, the atmosphere is primed for that fog development. And while it's not pleasant to drive through, it can be very beautiful. Check out some of these awesome viewer pics from this month. This one along the Holston River in Bristol, Tennessee, and another one here from Valley Fog near Big Stone Gap, Virginia, and one more lovely shot here of some fog shrouding the rolling hills in Bristol, Virginia. Now, the southern Appalachians is situated in one of the more fog-prone regions of the country. On average, the Tri-Cities can expect more than 35 foggy days annually, with many days with visibility dropping to less than a quarter of a mile. Now, as some of you are aware, according to weather lore, the number of August fogs signals how many snows we'll have during the winter. And this August so far at the Tri-Cities Airport, there have been 13 days of at least light fog, and so far 4 days of dense fog. You do the math, because if this pans out, we better start looking for those shovels and snow boots.
Well, bats may get a bad rap, but they are an important part of our ecosystem. Not only are they pollinators, but they also help keep the insect population in check. But their numbers have really fallen this century due to a disease known as white noise syndrome. Meteorologist Brandon Stover made a trek with wildlife biologists to a cave in Charleston, West Virginia to see what they are doing to help protect these bats.
It may not be visible to the naked eye, but a deadly pathogen to bats lives on these walls. That's why West Virginia DNR biologists are working hard with a new light treatment to try to kill as much fungus as possible.
We use UV light to sanitize, so we actually have a whole room sanitizer. It's called an obelisk, and it bakes the surface with a UVC light and a 254 nanometer wavelength. And at a set level of exposure, that's enough to kill the fungus. We are going to be the first state agency to roll out regular treatments for white nose syndrome in a natural hibernacula.
The light is so bright that sunglasses are needed, and you still need to look away. Just reducing this fungus should go a long way.
If we can culture it pre-treatment and not post-treatment, that would indicate that our treatments are a success. And then hopefully that reduces the fungal load that the bats pick up, which will reduce the severity of infection and thus make it more likely the bats will survive white nose syndrome.
It also doesn't harm other critters you may find down below.
And we have a lot of unique cave organisms that are adapted to feeding on the bat guano. So there's some cave crickets and some cave spiders and millipedes and things.
After treatment, it's all about making sure there's no cross-contamination.
So we wear these Tyvek suits to avoid bringing out too much cave dirt and fungus, and so we peel these layers off when we get out of the cave, but everything that we carry in has to be decontaminated for white nose syndrome.
It's a lot of heavy lifting in a rough and slippery environment, but the hope is to take this treatment to other caves in the future.
White nose syndrome is an invasive fungal pathogen that's caused the death of millions of bats across North America and has reduced populations of some of our local West Virginia species by 95 to 99%. The majority of some of our species have been wiped out. It's really satisfying to finally be able to do something to fight white nose syndrome in a practical way in the cave environment.
And time now for a short break, but first we take to the skies over Lake Mishnak outside of Providence, Rhode Island.
Well, good Monday morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Buck-Michael. Get some rain in Wichita for the day today, but most of the Midwest staying dry. A couple sprinkles coming in off the Great Lakes with that breeze out of the northwest. Heading into the day tomorrow, most of the Midwest staying dry for us. A few 80s out there across the northern plains. And as we continue on into your Wednesday, temperatures still staying more like the end of September for most of the Midwest.
Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Joe DiCarlo. Look at your forecast across the region. We have our first fall front of the season moving across Oklahoma and Arkansas. You can see the rain chance through the day and the cooler temperatures, 60s for highs in Oklahoma City today will be around 80 in Amarillo, 90s to the south of the front with an isolated rain chance closer to the Gulf Coast. That front will continue pushing slowly to the south as we head into your Tuesday.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm meteorologist Stella Sun. Excessive heat will continue across parts of the Pacific Northwest. Meanwhile, moisture will surge its way through the desert Southwest, triggering some thunderstorms and showers. Daytime highs will be around 102 degrees near Phoenix, 97 near Las Vegas. We are tracking the chance for some thunderstorms through Salt Lake City, 75 degrees in Jackson, Wyoming, and in the upper 60s for San Francisco. That's the scene from here.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
Rip currents were combined with the talk of Hurricane Aaron last week, but they're possible with or without an offshore storm. Meteorologist Kit Alexander has more.
When there's a massive storm like a hurricane in the Atlantic, dangerous rip currents can result. In fact, we just saw this with Hurricane Aaron. Even though the storm hadn't yet approached the shores of North Carolina and it was still miles out in the ocean, dangerous rip currents did result. Rip currents are powerful enough to sweep even the strongest swimmer away from the shore. Here's just a quick safety reminder when it comes to rip currents. First, super crucial, remain calm. Don't swim against the current. Swim out of the current, then to shore. But if you can't escape, float or tread the water. And another thing to keep in mind is if you need help, don't feel bad for doing this. Call, yell, or wait for assistance. It's best to never swim alone, one of the good rule to remember. And as always, monitor the latest weather forecast as rip currents can develop quickly.
And we'd love to share your weather content on air. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. Just search the National Weather Desk. We'll be right back. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.